Star Wars, the once beloved franchise that broke out into theaters back in the 70s, which made a huge impact on entertainment as well as various filmmakers throughout the decades up until the 2010s. Welcome back to Views with Hughes or Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and today's story, George Lucas, an analysis has stated that how he dislikes the Disney version of Star Wars. Now, he didn't come out directly and stated that, of course, but there's been a few things that's been dropped here and there that shows that he actually doesn't like it. Now, if you agree that he doesn't like it, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Also, if you disagree with it, go ahead and let me know that in the comments below as well. Also, what do you think is the best Star Wars film created by George Lucas? Okay, do you like the prequel series of it? So go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash the like button, share, follow across social media. And if you're enjoying all the content I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. So apparently there's a new term that's been coined. Well, it's not so new. It's been around for a while. We've been calling it G-canon, meaning George Lucas canon. If it was made by him, then it's canon. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that, if it's Star Wars, it should be done by books from Disney, comic books from Disney, so on and so forth. Basically, if it wasn't done by George Lucas, it's not canon. Okay. So it's going to go ahead and get right into it here. So the Star Wars universe, it's been a beloved and enduring franchise, captivating audiences around the world for decades. But with Disney's purchase and acquisition of Lucasfilm, a new era of Star Wars storytelling emerged, one that sparked a lot of debates among fans as well as enthusiasts. Okay, now in the vast Star Wars lore, G-canon stands as the highest level of canon because it was created by George Lucas, named after him, George's canon or G-canon, holding elements directly created or approved by George Lucas, the franchise's creator. Now, this includes the original and prequel trilogies and specific statements or scripts from Lucas himself. G-canon is a more definitive source of Star Wars lore, outweighing other forms of media like books, comics, and even TV shows in terms of authority. Okay, so as I stated before, everything that was created by George Lucas when it comes to TV and film, that's G-canon. All right. Now, when Disney actually acquired Lucasfilm, they chose not to follow George Lucas's original treatments for the Star Wars sequel trilogy, as we've all known to this day. Instead, they decided to go ahead and implement their version of Star Wars, which is a lot of political ideologies, political virtue signaling, even having a political stance on a lot of things, including where Kathleen Kennedy, who's the current Lucasfilm president, taking a picture with several other women in t-shirts with the infamous quote, "The Force is female." All right. Instead, they embarked on their own creative journey, deviating from Lucas's vision. Now, this decision led to a narrative shift, which Lucas actually publicly expressed disappointment in, even referring to Disney as white slavers. Okay, he criticized Disney's reliance on market research and established formulas, which he believed stifled innovation and risk-taking qualities he considered to be essential to filmmaking. Okay, now what exactly are these things that's referring to market research as well as established formulas? Something along the lines of ESG or even DEI. Okay, in other words, woke. Okay, just to put it plain and simple. Now, in the comments, I've been taking a lot of heat for people telling me that I'm not properly defining the word woke and everything. But the problem is, if it's woke, then it's actually hijacking what is considered to be actual progressivism. Even those who are communists and everything slamming woke ideology out there because of the fact that they see the actual underlyings, the intents of the big corporations out there. Okay, so they're not really winning with that particular audience as well. Okay, now when they decide to go ahead and do check marks of this and that person was like a strong female lead that's doesn't have any flaws, people of color, rather than keeping those there, but focusing more on good and accurate storytelling and deviated from politics and continuing with the philosophy that George Lucas has put out there. They would have kept all the core audiences, okay, as well as one new audiences. Instead, they decided to go ahead and take failing investment models and trying to implement that into a well-known IP, such as Star Wars, okay? Now, y'all remember during like a virtual speaker series where George Lucas's wife was being interviewed, and then he was interviewed by like students at an elementary school in Harlem, New York, where George Lucas acknowledged that he considers only the first 6 Star Wars films as his creations. This includes A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, as well as Return of the Jedi, and then the prequels, including Attack of the Clones. That's the second prequel, of course. First one is The Phantom Menace, and of course, Revenge of the Sith. All right. Now, this statement effectively excludes Disney Star Wars projects from the realm of G-canon, further emphasizing the divide between Lucas's vision and Disney's direction. Now, Disney's acquisition of Star Wars generated immense excitement when The Force Awakens was being released because of the fact that we all thought that we were going to go ahead and get back the essence that George Lucas put out there, even after Disney acquired it, okay? But in reality, we got nothing more than a political agenda that's being put out there, okay? Now, my channel is not politically biased. I'm trying not to make sure it becomes politically biased. I don't want any parts of it on the left or even the right, okay? But at the same time, it's mainly the fact that I got to address the issues that's on the left and stuff, because of the fact that, you know, that's the main thing, the main political ideology that's being put into these different IPs, not just Star Wars, but also Marvel, even with classics from Pixar, Toy Story, when they decided to go ahead and do an offshoot of it with Lightyear, putting different woke ideologies in it, okay? We don't see anyone from the right trying to go ahead and put their political ideologies in the current IPs and everything. Now, if you create your own IP and make it political, hey, that's fine. Just don't try to take something that was originally created to be apolitical and intervening any kind of political stance in it. Why? Because that's how you lose your audience that wants to escape away from the politics that they hear from the news every day. All right. So Disney's purchase of Star Wars generated immense excitement, particularly with Force Awakens. But then the fan base became divided with the release of The Last Jedi. Longtime fans expressed extreme dissatisfaction with the treatment of the beloved characters, causing a lot of controversy. Okay. Now, the handling of fan criticism by the movie's director and certain media outlets added to the chaos itself. Moreover, the merchandise sales actually went on a steep decline. In other words, failed to sell after the initial success of The Force Awakens. Okay, this means that they started going on clearance, still didn't sell in places like Walmart and other stores, and then it ended up in bargain outlets like Ollie's. Okay, and even there they failed to sell. And even Star Wars Galaxy's Edge theme park expansion failed to meet expectations. In contrast to the enduring popularity of Universal's Harry Potter attractions, and this also includes the closing attraction of the Galactic Star Cruiser from Disney World. Okay. Now, Disney's shift towards streaming shows on Disney Plus reflects the change in strategy, likely influenced by the lukewarm performance of films like Solo, or many people call Solo a flop, and I'm going to have to agree. Now, considering George Lucas's own reservations about Disney's direction, Disney's Star Wars projects, which is not really Star Wars, are not classified as G-canon. Now, this designation grants fans the freedom to embrace or disregard Disney's contributions to the Star Wars universe. In other words, we got the choice to actually accept it or reject it. The declining popularity of the brand suggests that many fans have already made their choice. Okay. Now, Disney's Star Wars has not managed to actually get new fans or to like get a new coveted status of G-canon, but leading to a division among fans and a decline of the franchise's appeal. And then the contrast between George Lucas's vision and Disney's approach has created a complex and evolving narrative within the Star Wars universe, leaving fans with the freedom to decide the place of Disney's contributions in their own personal canon. Now, Disney faces the challenge of reconciling with the franchise's past while attempting to capture the hearts of both old and new fans in the evolving landscape of Star Wars storytelling. Okay, now a lot of the fans have left already because of the, not only with the Disney version of Star Wars, but also with they left because of the shows like Ahsoka shows. Then there's also especially season 3 of The Mandalorian. Okay, that's where a lot of people actually got fed up. You know, bad storytelling. You know, it seemed as if they didn't give Jon Favreau the kind of control that he deserved to go ahead and create that season. As a matter of fact, I think that it was all created by Jon Favreau in name only, but the rest of it was being directed by Dave Filoni. Okay, I guarantee you Dave Filoni is next up person up with as president of Lucasfilm. And guess what? The only it's going to take them a long time and a lot of convincing for the company itself to go ahead and try to win back the core fans from the original Star Wars franchise. Okay, in other words, G-canon. Okay, now with that being said, the only way to actually get the fans back is by It's pretty simple, actually. You got to get rid of the head, Kathleen Kennedy, first and foremost, okay? Because it was all under her where she actually have this stuff proposed and created, and Bob Iger approved it, okay? Not only get rid of her, but get rid of the story of the Lucasfilm storyboard, especially Pablo Hidalgo, okay? Then you also got to get rid of you got to actually convince Dave Filoni to actually get away from the political agenda that's being put into the franchise itself. All right. Now, we've already heard that Disney admit that woke isn't really selling. It's not working for the company. It's actually going against the company, making it lose more money. All right. They should be entertaining people more and focusing more on entertaining rather than politics. So that way they'll make more money for the shareholders as well as other investors. Okay. And with that being said, all of this is going to take at least more than 5 years, in my opinion. Okay. But I mean, you can get them back, but most likely they may not come back. It's going to you need a lot of convincing to do, including trying to change the mind of Harrison Ford as well as Mark Hamill. Okay. Because these two actors, they're also going politically to the left as well, and putting their political ideologies out there. The fans don't want their political ideologies, okay? If they don't want the political ideologies from people on the right, they definitely want political ideologies from those on the left as well. All right. So let me know your thoughts about this, what I shared with you all today. Let me know where you agree or disagree with my points and everything. OK, what do you expect for the franchise itself? What are you hoping for from the franchise, from Lucasfilm as well as Star Wars? OK, what are you looking forward to in the future? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. Also, as I said in the video, go ahead and smash the like button and share it far wide across social media if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you enjoy the content part there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.